I'm James Brown, the author of The Turtle Story. The Turtle Story is a new release. Here this morning, we're shooting an audio video. The Turtle Story. The son of Buster meets the sea turtle. Deepwater Horizon explosion 10 years after. The Turtle Story. Story by James Ray Brown. Artwork by Laura Walker. This earth we live on is not a virtual earth. This earth is covered with biomes, and each of these biomes is made up of countless habitats. These habitats are filled with organisms, and each organism depends on the well-being of the habitat to survive. In the 7th part of the turtle story, the son of Buster meets the sea turtle, we will briefly investigate the superficial health of the Gulf of Mexico 10 years after the Deepwater Horizon explosion. Ye lads whose age is fitted for reading, learn. Alcuin. April 20th, 2010, the Deepwater Horizon explosion took the lives of 11 men. For more than 80 days, this ruptured oil well spewed from a hole in the oceanic crust more than 200 million gallons of crude oil into the Gulf of Mexico. 2 days following the explosion of this newly drilled well, the burned platform tumbled into the Gulf. Not only did this accident kill 11 men, many organisms, both big and small, also died. The stress from this oil spill was felt throughout the Gulf by all members of both flora and fauna, as well as microorganisms. 10 years later, many of those low-lying habitats bordering Gulf waters have not fully recovered. But there is hope. Two young men from Chilton County, Alabama, have planned a trip to the Gulf. Derek works for Frito-Lay, stocking shelves, while Blake continues to search for Blake. Only today, these young men are on a mission. Good morning. Good morning to you. I see you're still driving for Frito-Lay, Blake stated as he climbed into Derek's truck. And I guess you are still picking peaches, Derek joked with Blake. Both young men smiled and nodded at the other as they continued toward Interstate 65 on the way to the Gulf. Blake, this is only temporary, but this truck is handy when I have a day off. Derek, it is spacious, Blake stated, looking around inside the truck. There is plenty room for coolers and man, Blake jumped in his seat. Those two turtles really scared me. Blake realized they were not alone. Sitting between the two young men on top of Derek's igloo cooler were their grandfather turtle and his grandson. Let me introduce you. Derek, I suppose you should. Do you remember the turtle guy? Yes, I do. He is an odd old sort. These are two of the turtles that he helps cross the road. Sure he does, Blake stated in disbelief. Anyway, sometimes they climb in here and come along for the ride. What kind of turtles are they, Derek? They are bog turtles. Are you sure bog turtles are found in Alabama? Blake asked while examining the two turtles. Now, Derek, explain again why we are going to the Gulf. Do you remember counting populations in science class? Yes, I do. Well, on this trip, we will use GPS instruments to count sea turtles in the Gulf. Man, sounds like brainy stuff, Derek. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too. Exactly how is this work all that fun? Well, Blake, the really nasty work has already been done. Would you like to explain? Years ago, just after the explosion and the oil spill, many animals were covered in crude oil and dispersants. I understand crude oil, so tell me about dispersants. Blake, dispersants are a family of chemicals that break down the crude oil into smaller, more manageable parts, or so some like to think. Many scientists believe these chemicals cause more of an environmental hazard and thus more of a health hazard. Many argue dispersants make cleanup more difficult than crude oil alone. But like I said, this sort of cleanup for this spill is more or less over. So for now, we will weigh and tag the sea turtles we locate. You mean we will handle sea turtles? Yes, Blake, we will interact with sea turtles. Derek, tell me more about the tag and this other information. If the turtle has a tag, we record the information from the tag. For example, we record where the turtle was originally found and any changes in the turtle's weight. We record weight gained or lost and whether the sea turtle is within his range. And after some observation, we return the sea turtle to the Gulf. This is catch and release. So, we are tracking sea turtle movement and whether these sea turtles are gaining or losing weight. Blake, you might say we are checking the health of the Gulf by checking the health of the sea turtles. How are we doing that? If the sea turtles are losing weight, scientists believe the food supply is poor and thus the Gulf is unhealthy. What else? Blake wondered. If the number of sea turtles is lower, they could be dying. And a poor food supply could mean fewer eggs. So, Derek, who will we be working with? I mean, I know we ain't going out in the truck. We will be working with a team from Dauphin Island Sea Lab in coordination with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Sounds like fun, Derek. Could be, Blake. The next morning, the two young men and the two turtles were on the boat in the Gulf, catching sea turtles and gathering information. The two bog turtles stood precariously on their cooler as Derek and Blake hauled in the first sea turtle of the day. Grandfather, what is that? The young turtle asked, pointing with his forefoot. Grandson, he is a sea turtle. A sea what, grandfather? The young turtle's mouth gaped open in disbelief. He is a sea turtle, the grandfather reassured his young grandson. Grandfather, he is humongous, the young turtle exclaimed. Yes, grandson, that sea turtle is rather large. Large, grandfather? He is humongous. Okay, he is humongous. Excuse me, but he makes a turtle proud, grandfather, the young turtle stated, puffing out his chest. While Derek and Blake attended to their job, the young sea turtle was startled by the miniature versions of himself. "Hey, you guys sure are little," the sea turtle wondered. "It's okay, big guy. Everybody has their place." "You two must know the repulsive buzzard." "Yes, we do, big guy. Do you?" "No, but I have heard of him." Everybody has heard of the repulsive buzzard and his agreement with all the animals of the fields and the forest. We have scavengers and decomposers here in the Gulf, only they are different. "So, young turtle, what should I call you?" "Grandfather says I am the son of Buster, but you can call me young turtle." "All right, young turtle." "Excuse me, big guy, but what are they doing to you?" "These two humans are weighing me. I have gotten used to it, young turtle. Years ago, I needed help. I needed cleaning up. After the explosion, many of us were sick from the crude oil and the dispersants. Humans still argue over the safety of those dispersants. Oil companies use them when they spill oil, and humans still get sick. Big guy, why can't humans figure that one out?" "That, young turtle, is a good question. So, tell me why they are weighing you." "Son of Buster, by weighing me, these humans are making sure I am eating right, that my food supply in the Gulf is good. Before the oil spill, my biggest problems were the occasional shark and plastic bags." "Plastic bags, big guy?" "Yep, plastic bags, or any plastic. To my eyes, when the sun strikes plastic, it all looks like jellyfish, my favorite food." With that comment, Derek and Blake lowered the recently weighed sea turtle back into the warm waters of the Gulf. "Will I ever see you guys again?" the sea turtle hollered at the two bog turtles as he swam alongside their vessel. "I hope so, big guy," the young turtle stated with joy in his voice. "You watch out for those sharks, and we will do what we can about those plastic bags on dry land." The young turtle shouted back, "Okay, little guy, I will look forward to your return." And with that, the sea turtle dove for deeper waters, occasionally returning to the surface, only diving deeper and farther out on each return until he was finally out of sight. And as the sea turtle continued out into the deep blue water, he never looked back, even though his new friend never took his eyes off him. To be continued.